Hello, everybody, and welcome to part 9 of Assaltya. So much going on. This was the turn that we told Shaka off, so I'm going to pass the turn so we remember to denounce him. And while we're doing that, I want to talk about the Zulus because I went back to my Salty Shaka series and refamiliarized myself with what exactly the Zulus represent. It's not just about the MPs. They get promotions more rapidly and have a unique building that gives them a unique promotion called Buffalo. It has 3 ranks. Each one comes with minus 10%, 10% resistance versus ranged attacks, and that's why I thought they had cover, because once they have all 3 promotions, it's pretty much like having cover. But the promotions also provide, in order, +1 movement, plus 10% on open terrain, and plus 10% combat strength in general. So they are faster and stronger, so even though they don't have MPs, we need to be careful. So, with all that said, let's go ahead and get the denunciation out of the way. There's no way they haven't met Venice. There's no way. Look, his scout's right here. Look how close they are. Boats have coastal. He's got boats. There's no way. Is he at war with them already? Oh, okay. I couldn't figure it out. Well, that's actually pretty good then, because if he's, actually making good on that action, then that means his units are moving away from us. Alright, so this city has grown, and the worker in the city has finished the farm. That's good, because I was going to say we need to have a shuffling of workers. That's one of the things I determined off camera was we're going to have this guy come down. This guy can come down to do the next farm. This guy can come down to do the stone. And we have 4 workers over here. That's new. Let's see. Oh, okay. Border grew. It says 2 turns to grow here, so let's just check this real quick. No, that does not speed things up. Alright. I was going to say we have all these guys coming through here. Let's finish that. So now that's 6 tiles down. Already at 7, and 2 turns it'll be more than 8. So that is profitable. So next turn he can do a road here. Let's see, he's fully pre-built there, so he goes a road here. I'll tell you what, the last pop that Nimrod gained was like 8 or 9 now that the food caravan's not here. So this guy probably has time to get a road down before we continue with the farms here. So let's just go ahead and do that. But anyways, then we'll have these 4 workers here. One will be like in Seoul, one will be in Nimrod, and then we'll have one to go to Palanque and one for Assur. More or less. That's a overgeneralization, but you get the idea. And the reason why I want to have a worker come with us, it's always a good idea to have a worker come with you to war. Start putting down roads, repairing pillage tiles, whatever. But I think it's going to be especially important here just because the war is going to be taking place, kind of far away from our borders. So we are going to be relying on his lands to heal, having the ability to repair. So really, we would like to have 2 workers down here, but hopefully we can capture one along the way. So that's all of these. And then the next thing we wanted to address is we have a traffic jam of units here. This guy wants to get to war, and since we have all these guys kind of combing the coast, let's have him cross here, because then he can get over here and act as a blocker in case it's necessary. I mean, if we start attacking his boats, he's going to see that we're here. He's got a city here, which we can't assail, but he might start bringing units out, and if so, we'd like to be able to kill them. That would be great. Anything that makes the capturing of Ulundi easier. And the reason we wanted to move him out is because he now occupies that tile. Human monument's temporary, because he's going to be the one that ultimately does that. This guy is well promoted, but we needed to have everybody slide along like this, so that this will be his permanent home. And then good. And then we also had a swordsman over here who's promoted, who wants to... He's going to be a little late, but... let's see, missionary can reach this far, and it's safe because this guy's here, so no barb camp's going to spawn right there. I just mentioned that he's going to be coming down. Alright, so that is all of that. So I'll actually have him hit the road so that he can come down here next turn. Okay, so these guys are coming down. We denounced Shaka, right? Yep. Okay. I didn't want to miss out on that. So everybody's crossing the road here. Let's see. Can't move there because we want to heal this guy. So let's come here and then go here next turn and then here. And then he'll be like next turn and here. We can do it in such a way that the pikemen will actually lead. So let's get this guy back into there. Be the human monument. We'll take some eyes here. Alright, still no impies. Yeah, there, those 3 icons on the end with, it's like a long shield with spears behind it. Those are the Buffalo promotions. Got all 3 there, all 3 there. Wow, all 3 there. So these 3 guys, to recap, have minus 30% against ranged attacks. So shooting them is going to be less effective. They have plus 1 movement, plus 10% on flatland, and plus 10% in general. And it looks like this one in particular also has plus 10% on rough on top of that. That's the one thing about the Buffalo promotions. They're really nice, but they kind of get in the way of promotion progression as far as getting to like the better stuff like medic and, you know, logistics or whatever. But that's probably why they have the buff where they get promotions more rapidly. Alright, so we need to distance ourselves from this guy, but we also want to kill this camp. So let's see, 1, 2, we can just retreat there, 3, hey, and that's the end of the line. Alright, so this is good. Kind of means Shaka's trapped. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4 next turn, get max visibility. He's coming down for the war. He's going home to heal up. And that is that. Oh, good. I'm glad I thought to look up here. Because we knew that Shaka had at least 1 boat in the area. That's why this guy's doing what he's doing. Kind of want to try and keep an eye on it since we don't know when we're going to be declaring war against Shaka. We're just going to have our ranged comb the coast. Although we don't necessarily need to do that. I was thinking originally the plan was let's do that because the melee wasn't coming down in time, but some of the melee is already here. So anyways, with metal casting in the books, let's go ahead and buy a workshop here. In the last part I mentioned having intentions for gold and aqueducts in both of these cities, and a workshop here was that plan. National College in 7 turns, now in 6. City grows in 3 at that point in time. We can go ahead and populate the workshop, and then we can go to horses and stone. This city is basically a super city. We're going to grow it as far as happiness will allow, and perhaps a little beyond that. So I envision a scenario where let's fill this up, and then let's fill this up, and then we'll fill the stone up. Hopefully by then a worker has some other farm, you know, because we have multiple river farm spots here. And then we can just pull from that, let it grow to grow into the production, switch it to a good food, grow into the production, and so on is the plan. Palanque grows to 5 pop, and the governor decides to put him on a pure production tile, which is interesting. I don't know that I necessarily agree with it, but I do like the fact that this puppet's not growing out of proportion, kind of like Soul. I'm somewhat okay with it happening in Soul, just because we need this to be 7 pop just to make the road profitable. So yeah, I would like for that to stop at some point. We don't want it going nuts. Okay, camp by King Solomon's Mine. There's just so much land over here with nobody around. The only thing we have for a death squad in the east is ranged here, and he can't really abandon his post because we're... Although he did just kind of stick around Hanoi. We could bring him down and like shoot the camp, eventually clear it. Maybe it throws off another unit, we shoot it down, and then finally there'll come a turn where the camp's empty, we just move in and hope a city-state's not like also there. So we can do it with just him. It'll just take longer. We also have this melee who's half of a death squad. So in the west we have a melee, not a range, because the range is going to war. In the east we have a range, not a melee. So I'll tell you what, let's come down here. Perfect. This is exactly what I was hoping to find. So we could actually start the war right now because both of these guys can step and shoot this boat. And then we can kind of keep a better eye. And if he happens to stick around and Hanoi just like destroys him, That would actually free this guy up. Okay. So yeah, it's time to go to war. Let's see here. We're online for steel. In line for steel, so let's do that. That's part of the reason I want the National College coming down as fast as possible. Obviously, it's not going to help us in the capture of Ulundi, but once we capture Ulundi, we upgrade everybody to longswordsmen, and then the rest of what we can see thus far is ours pretty easily. Like it hasn't been easy thus far, but Ulundi, this is when it starts to get challenging, I would imagine. And it's not because the window on the siege towers is closing, it's just because it's Shaka. Alright, so before we start, let's just see if this guy is willing to pay us, especially now that we know that Shaka's already attacking him. Really? Not even your 1 gold here? No kidding. Okay. Have it your way. Alright, so we're going to lose 3 gold per turn. Unfortunate, but we have to start at some point. So we nearly halved him. That's pretty sweet. We cast a demi on him. Let's see. Alright. Yep. Okay. So, I should have looked at him before I declared war. So unfortunately, we can't proceed here. Say we move to here. He can see us. These guys have 3 movement each. We're just dead. Or so close that, zone of control would prevent us from... We do have the option to embark. The thing is we want to get around him and try to continue scouting this landmass, because we need to know at what point do we switch our techs over to being able to meet other civs on the other continent. Once this continent's wiped out, we're going to need to find trade partners fast. We already have duplicates of salt and gold. We're going to have cotton and gem. We have multiple crabs. We'll have multiple whales. Yeah, so that is so interesting. Because the alternative is he just backs up to, like, here, keeps an eye on things. He could stand here on a hill, keep eyes on things, dance to here, keep an eye on things. Because there's a really good chance, based on where we are, that if he wants to meet us in the field, this will be where it is. Because we're going to be here before we get to here. I hadn't considered the embarkation aspect of things. I never do. We do have a horse over here, and it does look like the horse would be able to scout this way. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we'll have this cleared out next turn, and we can heal up and start scouting. So let's have him come back and be eyes over here. We could always embark if we need to and disembark. I don't want to embark because there's a lot of boats over here, but who knows, maybe there comes a point where that becomes a good strategy. So this is nice. We can see all the land tiles over here, so we know that Shaka's not over here. Although I do see this guy here. Let's see. He's coming down. Alright, we have a caravan through here, and that is one thing enemy scout will do. So we probably should address that. This is not a human monument. Let's cross in this way. That way we have melee fanning out in either direction. Although I suppose I could have kept him on this side of the river. This is the kind of thing that having a human monument step out is okay for. So let's do that. Oh, and plus we have the forest elephant here, right? So let's see. Let's do this. Because we could come this way, or we could go 1, 2, 3 if proceeding across the river is what we want to do. We know he's going across the river. He's coming down for farm. And he is... Let's chop this down. Yeah. Let's chop this down first. Ooh. I think that's going to be just in time. Let's chop this down first. Because the siege tower is not going to be the end of the road here. We're going to want a melee for the east and a range for the west. Or maybe this guy heals up and goes in the east, and then we need to backfill for home. That actually sounds kind of better now that I say it out loud. So these hammers will go nicely, and of course, being that this is second tile, rather than having a hodgepodge of growth that includes some river tiles, we can kind of force this, I think. The only reason I'm confident on that is because it is second ring. The only other second ring we have is hills and tundra, which the governor won't like over a river. Alright, he's going to the war. So yeah, he's coming from behind to deal with this. He's coming from behind to deal with this. And, of course, we have the elephant right here. So we should have that scout taken care of. Now, this isn't quite as exciting as it looks because Shaka gets to move first and then Hanoi. So there's a really good chance he'll just run away from that. He's coming down to the war. He is healed up, so there's that. There's that. Okay. And he gets started on that road. It is one turn until growth, so let's go ahead and do this. And just a reminder, we're not actually losing that faith. Grow, plots, counts up, so doing that just means we're going to get 3 extra food and a hammer this turn. Because you know I like to min-max. Okay, so it's going to take the Great General 3 turns to get across the river anyways. So I really don't see any reason to dangle him. I don't think Venice would capture him. But like I said, I don't think there's any reason. It's going to take the same amount of turn either way. Because Shaka moves first, let's keep our camera here, pass the turn, and immediately click on Hanoi. And that way we can try and see what both of them do or did. So here we go. Escapes to the east. This one didn't move. Nice. Oh, that's so good. I don't know why he's interested in sticking around in Hanoi, but now he is so damaged that between Bombard and the combo that we have, he'll be good to go. Wow. Okay. Let's do this since we're here. 1, 2, 3. We also had the option here. 1, 2, 3. So since they're allied, there's no attrition here. So I wasn't afraid to take our time, but looks like we got it in just like so. Nimrod grows. Fantastic. 11 turns till growth, so yeah, we have plenty of time to finish that road. Camp here. Okay. Still like the idea of having him on the coast. Just keep an eye on what's happening. And now he can see us. We're on a hill 2 tiles off his border. So that should hopefully encourage him to send units this way. Okay, let me look at this real quick. Alright, scouts right there. Let's see here. 2, 2, 2, 2. Yeah, so this guy can actually go wide. It's not like we need to cross the river over here. And now he's increased his options as far as stepping and shooting. Yeah, I really should have stayed on the side of the river last turn. Because if we had, I could have moved here. Elephant 1, 2, 3. Hit, you know, from flanking. And then he's pinched. He can only move 1 hex in any direction, at which point we hopefully finish him off. Now we don't have that option so much. We do have this guy coming from the back. Let's see. So, yeah. We can step down here, a little bit of visibility across the river. And I still like the idea of the elephant here. Mainly because if we were to come down here, for example, we're steering him into the north, and we can't control that. We have 1 range. Here, yeah, we probably steer him like to the south, and the ranged can't get involved, which is unfortunate, but we keep him away from our caravan. In fact, now that there's a camp here and there's coast here, can he embark? He can't. Okay, so we could just trap him back here or whatever, clean up, and go from there. Alright. So boat went away. He went into the east. Other boats haven't come over. So let's see. He's crossing the river. He's coming down. Let's see. Might as well do this. And we can't go here, so I guess we have to abandon the coast with our range, which is actually kind of fine. We do have melee that did make it down here, although if the scout can draw somebody out, I don't know. I don't know how much this is a pipe dream, drawing them out into the field here, but I kind of want to be prepared for that. So we don't really need this guy to come over here to keep eyes on the camp, because we're not going to have a ranged right away. So let's come down to here. That way we can still come over here if need be, or we can come down here, which I'm kind of hoping will be a thing, but I don't know. I mean, it pays to be hopeful, right? Okay, we can get started on the next farm. The city's going to grow in 7, so that's going to be on time. Eek! He is pursuing. Alright, so capturing the camp, zone of control, we're dead in the water. So let's go 2, 3, 4. That way we complete the camp as well as get a little bit more visibility. So now we're probably going to get hit. We're going to have to go lick our wounds, preferably in a place where he can't see us so he won't give chase. And go from there. Alright, road's done here. We're going to back up to here and then zoom ahead to finish this road here. Let's see, 2 turns to go. I'm going to have to remind that. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to interrupt this guy. Oh, whoops, we didn't actually give him a command this turn. Alright, so interrupt him, and that way next turn the prompt will hopefully remind me to move the Great Work back, because I think it's still in Nimrod for border growth purposes. Alright. Oh, in fact, it's right now, so we can just stay focused on it right here and now. So that as soon as we regain control, thousands spread to Hanoi, so they're going to be ours for some time. I didn't bother watching the boat. Crap. That would have been nice to know. But anyways, let's go ahead and do this. I was so busy trying to maintain focus on this, which is important. But we don't know if the boat left or was dumb enough to stick around and is now dead. We can't tell the difference. So I did that. Let's see here. Thousands spread to Hanoi. Yep. So here comes the chop. Let's see. There is a warrior. He's triple buffalo, so we need to be careful. But so let's back up. He can still see we're here, so maybe he proceeds. We'll have this guy come down and maybe like kind of half cut him off. Oh, and what else we could do is we could dangle this worker, let him capture it. Yeah. Okay, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to actually move this guy here, because he's probably going to relieve... He's probably going to move from this tile, which means at that point we can then occupy this tile and start shooting from the coast. Yeah. Okay. He's going to lead the... I didn't even realize there was a 3-way traffic jam here. That's okay, because he wants to go wider anyways. He's going towards this. These guys can deal with all this. And there is the scout. Okay, so he's coming down. We know that. He comes over here, and now we actually can just slap into him. Let's see. He says we'd do about 51. He would actually hit worse. Weird. Oh, I bet you now... Yeah, 40. It went from 41 to 47 because he's scared. That's what the forest elephant does. So there's that. We'll have him down. We can always back up here and heal because everything down there is taking time. We're repositioning and trying to do what we can. Okay, so let's see here. This guy's coming over to finish. This guy's coming over to finish. He finishes, and now because we have engineering, there's a bridge there, so he can start heading down to Palanque, Assur, Nimrod, Sol, give or take. I'm pretty sure this is an indication he did not hit us. 1, 2, 3, 4. We won't be seen. We can start going about our healing and scouting plans. Let's see. Let's get him off this tile so that he can come in, heal up. And then we'll have him maybe head out to the east to King Solomon's Mine. Deal with that. So the boat was here. If he did move 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll see him in 2 more turns. If he is actually there to see. Alright. So it looks like these two can just focus on the camp while these two focus on the scout. We're going to stay right there with him. And that is that. So here we go. Okay, let's see. City connection established. Nineveh grows. That's going to go in the workshop. 6 and 3. 7 and 3. Okay. Um, so yeah, we grow 1 turn slower, but since happiness is getting to be a problem, the growth slowing down, you know, it's inevitable. And look at that, we forced the governor to take that tile. Perfect. And we're not even working all the tiles we would want. It is also perfect because this one can be used by either city. So that's pretty special. This guy comes out, we give him second cover. So he starts moving towards the war. Camp spawns very close to home. Okay, so I was saying the capital needs to build a melee and a ranged. Since we have this melee here, let's go ahead and build ranged next to deal with this camp right here. And then the melee, I can come and go deal with Solomon's Mine. Solomon's Mine, if it throws off units, maybe we're lucky enough to track them down. It's just more culture for us, but this is actually somewhat close to home, so let us be proactive. So, Circus is finished and our happiness is suffering, so this might be a good time to build a courthouse. 4 from number of occupied cities, which is differentiated from population of puppet cities. So this is the only quote-unquote occupied city that we have. So the courthouse, if I'm reading that correctly, should be +4 happiness for 4 maintenance cost. This would be +2 happiness for 1 maintenance cost. So this would be more efficient, but this would be more effective. And yeah, we don't really have the gold to spare, but we can build markets, we can, you know, caravans. We can get gold from other places. We can't necessarily get happiness from other places. Okay, so this is an interesting situation. I like the idea of dangling a worker. So let's step here. Let's fortify here. He'll probably attack here. We can bring this guy up on a hill because they have the extra sight. If we get hit, that's no problem. We can heal up here. And, you know, we're going to hurt them more than they hurt us. Probably. We have greater combat strength. In order for him to influence the coast, it would take 2 turns no matter what we do. So coming here, it's not off course if we want to stick to the coast. He can stick to the coast like so. We have a pikeman coming in from behind. Let's see, we'll go ahead and cross the river with him. Okay. So, if he captures here, the scout's free. We move the pikeman down, shoot, hit, and then maybe he even hit. Or he hits this, in which case we can hit him, bring him down, get the scout out of there, dangle the worker. Something like that. So I think leaving the worker right there is the play. Let's see here. 42, 40. Let's hit with him first, and then him. Okay, so he can go 1-2 into borders. He can go 1-2-3 into borders. He'll heal up till 2 turns. He'll heal up 1. Alright, so not bad. This guy can actually cross the river at the marsh because he can shoot from there. This guy takes 2 turns to get onto the camp. So yeah, we're managing 3 different combat objectives here, and I think we're doing pretty okay. Alright, so we can't heal. We have to give chase. 1, 2, presumably 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. This seems like the safer option. And look at that with these. Ooh, great general. I was going to say with these mountains here, we can't see anything more from going here, so this is fine. But we also don't want to end up here. I don't know where this guy's going, but he would see us from here. He can't see us from here. The extra visibility is nice. And there's this guy. Unfortunately, we don't have the mobility for both. It's too bad we're not a Keshik. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or probably safer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we're not. So, but the great general, we just kill him. That's great for combat. Worker will come about. But we'll have to see how that develops. That's pretty interesting. Alright. So, let's see here. This worker was coming down for the stone. So let's do that. I mean, the stone isn't really timely, but Nineveh is, right? Because I'm thinking after the stone, we start developing this river tiles. There's a river tile being developed here that Nineveh can use. It's just a question of which of these guys goes to Palanque. And Palanque is probably lowest priority. We have a plains farm that we could do here. We also have a plains farm we could do here that Tikal could use, but Tikal's is already at capacity as far as that goes. It would be nice to have a second one as a growth potential, pull off the horse to grow, but we don't actually want the city growing too quickly. So, Nineveh's highest priority. This guy actually can move 3 and start on the farm here, so that's perfect. He'll come down to Palanque. Or actually, we can have this guy go to Palanque next turn, and he can take over on the farm. Yep. So he's waiting outside for this guy to heal up. This guy's going to come do Nimrod. And then Sol, really the only option we have is putting a lumber mill here, because everything else is food, and we already got too much food. So we don't actually need a worker here. I mean, it could be argued that if we repair these tiles, we make any trade routes more effective, but hey, the boat's still here. That's worth knowing. So let's keep our eyes up here as we pass the turn. Actually, I'll tell you what. We are at the half-hour mark, and things are getting kind of delicate here in the south. So let's just end it here. Make sure no mistakes are made, or as few mistakes are made. It's first thing in the morning for me. So let me save this, walk away, come back with some fresh eyes, and give you guys top shelf materials. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate all the feedback, the comments you guys have been leaving. Keep them coming. I do enjoy the discourse between y'all and between me and you guys. I like learning. I like helping other people learn, so that really means a lot to me. Also, please leave me a like and subscribe if you feel that I've earned it, and I will see you guys in the next part. Take care.